shopping, I just want to let you know that I'm excited about the David Benavidez David Morrell fight. That's a really good fight to be made. I feel like since they couldn't make the Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, I feel like this is a really perfect fight for the fans. They really want to watch an exciting match with two equally talented boxers. I'd say David Morrell is 26 years old. Uh, David Benavidez is 27, and Benavidez has a 29-0 with 24 KOs, both undefeated, and David Morrell is 11-0 with 9 KOs. I believe that it's a really good matchup. It's very intriguing. I don't think that David Morrell has the experience at the elite level the way David Benavidez has. David Benavidez has looked good against a lot of good fighters. He's done really awesome, and I feel like it's a great style of matchup. They're both power hitters, but I do believe that David Morrell, he has the athletic ability as far as the movement with the legs. He's really good and he has power. So that's two things to look at. But I feel like David Benavidez, he's done a lot. Like in spite of not being able to get a fight with Canelo, he's done some great things. He's a two-time champion. And WBA champion David Morrell. He's not an official champion. He's more like a regular WBA champion. So, but still, like he has a good amateur pedigree, and a lot of those Cuban boxers they're really good overall talent. They have boxing ability, and he has power, and it's really interesting to see what would happen in this fight. I don't know what you guys think, but I think David Benavidez is going to have a really good test in this fight. I believe that David Benavidez has all the experience and enough to take the victory. But David Morrell, you can never really underestimate him. He has a lot to prove, and when you have a lot to prove, you can make mistakes. And I believe that that's a fight that he has to win, because in the little bit of fights that he has and the amateur experience that he has, he definitely has to prove something, because this is an opportunity for him to show the fans what he's really made of. And the same thing goes for David Benavidez. I feel like David Benavidez has to prove himself, but he's proven himself time and time again. So I feel like this is just a matter of who imposes that will and skill in the matchup. And I feel like David Benavidez should win the fight, but if he doesn't win the fight, you can't. I wouldn't be surprised if David Morrell pulls an upset. I wouldn't be surprised. What's going on, people? I'm over here driving, so I'm trying to stay focused on the road, just giving you some boxing content. I'm excited about the David Benavidez fight, and I feel like it's a matchup that, since we couldn't get the Canelo Alvarez fight, they gave us a fight with David Benavidez. I know that David Benavidez in his last fight, he fought somebody at 175. I think it was a Russian fighter. I don't remember the guy's name, but I feel like he didn't really look good in that fight. David Benavidez, he did what he had to do to win, and he won by decision. But I feel like his power doesn't, David Benavidez's power doesn't carry over at 175. I think that his power is a problem at the lower weight class, 168. I think that that's the weight where he can do a lot of damage, because I think he's physically too big for that division. Yeah, I'm focused on the road, Kelly. I appreciate you. No, I'm looking at the road more than I'm looking at the phone. So, you got to pay attention to those details too. Like I'm not looking directly at the screen too much. So, yeah, but I saw your comment. Yes, I'm focused. I'm always focused. That's why I'm focusing on the road, but I'm telling you what's going on with boxing. And, I'm not stopping from giving you content, but I just want to make sure that I stay focused and drive safe. That's what I'm doing right now. So, what do you guys think will win? Now, I appreciate you, Kelly. No, I'm definitely. Let me put the phone down in case the police sees me. Let me stop. They see the yellow light. I stopped at the yellow light. I didn't go. So yeah, see, I did the right thing. I'm focused on the road and focused on the phone. And listen, right now is a red light. Who do you think is gonna win between David Benavidez and David Morrell? Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Subscribe to my channel. No. Who do you guys got in that fight? I think David Morrell has a chance to pull an upset, but I think that David Benavidez, he's going to win possibly by 9th or 10th round KO or by unanimous decision because David Morrell is a tough guy. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I don't think it's going to be easy to knock him out. It's possible that he could get stopped, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy for him. Yeah, so, subscribe to my channel, Tony Also Knows Boxing. I'm really excited about the fight's going to be on February 1st. David Benavidez versus David Morrell is going to be on February 1st, my sister's birthday. And December 21st, we're going to have Usyk versus Tyson Fury rematch. That's going to be interesting. And I think December 15th, we're going to have Hitchinson versus Liam Pato, the guy that beat Subriel Matias in Puerto Rico. And I think it's an insult that he's fighting in Puerto Rico after he beat the champion from Puerto Rico, and he's fighting in Roberto Clemente Coliseum. I feel like that's disrespectful to Puerto Ricans as a whole, because if it gives an opportunity for Puerto Rican boxers, the local Puerto Rican boxers, like I heard, then it's a good thing. And it could build interest for the rematch between Liam Pato versus Subriel Matias, which I think is I think Subriel Matias he took the money and they made a deal with him where he couldn't win because the named fighter Liam Pato that was signed to an exclusive deal with Eddie Hearns, he couldn't win the fight. They made sure that the contract wasn't for him to win the fight. It was just for him to lose the fight and get more exposure, Subriel Matias, because he wasn't signed as an exclusive contract with Eddie Hearns. He was signed to a multi-fight deal. The light turned green. So I feel like there was politics behind that because Subriel Matias didn't look the same, and I feel like you could tell that it was fixed, the fight. So I feel like they gave Subriel Matias his own pay-per-view in his next fight, which he did really good, and knocked out Ramos in I think the 3rd round. So it was some politics behind it, and hopefully they could build some fan interest and give him a rematch where they won't exploit Subriel Matias because he's with a lower promotion that's not as famous as Eddie Hearns. That's what big promotions do. They actually exploit the smaller promotions of Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico and build their fighters that are in a big promotion. That's what all the big promotions like Matchroom and Golden Boy does. So I feel it'll be a good rematch. Eddie Hearns, not Eddie Hearns, but if Liam Pato versus Subriel Matias, that'll be a really, really good fight. I think Subriel Matias beats him by KO in the rematch. It's just a lot of politics in boxing. But yeah, man, what do you think about Tyson Fury versus Usyk? What do you think about Tyson Fury versus Usyk, the rematch? What do you guys have? Subscribe to Tony Also Knows Boxing. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to Tony Also Knows Boxing. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. Let me turn over here. I'm focused. Oh, you think Tyson? It could go either way. That fight is pretty evenly matched, and I think Usyk will win, though. I think Usyk has a little more in the tank than Tyson Fury, if you ask me. Yeah, but it's a good fight. It's going to be in England, so it's going to be a different time. What about David Benavidez versus Morrell? Yeah. What about David Benavidez versus Morrell? I think David Benavidez versus Morrell is a very competitive fight. It's the best fight that the fans, real hardcore boxing fans, could possibly get right now. I think that fight right there, it's a fight that, like a consolation for like what we can't get with Canelo versus Benavidez, and I feel like that's a very even match. I think it's even, but he has a lot of experience in the amateurs. David Morrell, and I feel like his boxing ability makes it for entertaining possible upset, because I feel like David Benavidez, he has skills, he has boxing ability. He's more of a puncher, and but he does have defense. A lot of people don't give him credit for defense, and I feel like the better boxer in this fight between David Morrell and David Benavidez is definitely Morrell. I think Morrell is the better boxer of the two, and I feel like that could play a part in an upset. But subscribe to my channel, Tony Also Knows Boxing. Don't be afraid to click that like button. Subscribe to that channel if you want to hear real good boxing content, authentic boxing with no holds barred, unbiased, real boxing, not afraid to tell the truth boxing channel. This is what Tony Also is all about. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Check out my channel. Subscribe to my channel, Tony Also Knows Boxing. Don't be afraid. I appreciate. Yeah, so what was the fight with Canelo? It's a fight I'm thinking about. Canelo, when he fought, oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of the boxer. Anyway, let me skip that boxer. I can't remember the boxer's name, but it's a boxer that I really admire a lot, and he's a great boxer. Let me be careful over here. I'm focused. I got to make sure I stay focused. I'm driving and giving you content, multitasking at the same time. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Check out my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I'm a very busy man, so I got to do things multitask. Sometimes I do that, but at least I'm giving you an experience of my life. I'm sharing my life with you. But yeah, I'm excited about those fights. Usyk versus Tyson Fury Part 2. I'm excited about David Benavidez versus Morrell. I think that's an amazing fight. And that's one of my favorite fighters, David Benavidez. And David Morrell has grown on me. So, what do you think about the Tank fight? He's fighting Roach. I think he's not really fighting the status or the level of fighters that he should be fighting, like Shakur Stevenson. He should be fighting somebody like that, or at least Teofimo Lopez. I don't know. Teofimo Lopez ain't the same fighter anymore. He's not the same fighter he used to be. Teofimo Lopez. He's just trying to get a big fight as soon as possible, and he's trying to get Crawford fight because he knows that his time is running out. He's not in his prime anymore. He could lose any fight with anybody at any given moment. So he's just trying to get a big fight without earning it, just using his name, and that's basically what he's doing. Yep. Tony Also Knows Boxing. I'm already home. Subscribe to my channel, Tony Also Knows Boxing. Don't be afraid to subscribe. I'll be back later. I gotta go. David Benavidez versus Morrell. What do you think?